So, this just in. I was having a phone conversation with my sister not too long ago, and being that I know that she listened to Joel Osteen in the past, I asked her, did she hear about the whole church hurricane scandal? And she was like, nah. So, as I was catching her up, she started going in disappointment, of course, because she's a spiritual person and avidly listens to him. And in that conversation, I started to see it from her perspective and the majority of y'all perspectives as well. Being a little more open-minded. So what you guys are going to hear is just that. Bear in mind that this is just a random conversation with her. I had no idea that it was going to get that deep and in depth. But about 5 minutes into it of her, going off, I just started to record before she even knew it. Because based on the majority of your feedback, I wanted y'all to hear this, even though y'all missed the good part, okay? Look, I am not perfect, never claimed to be. I am open-minded, and from my previous videos on PetTeaBlog, I said that I felt that he should have just opened the door from Jump Street. But what I did also do that pissed a lot of y'all off is that I did look at it on the flip side. Because I wanted to see maybe why he didn't do it, because of the fact that, I've worked in similar vicinities in the past, and that's just how I am. I'm always trying to see things from somebody else's perspective. Like, I'm trying to see why they did what they did. But this conversation with my sis was an eye-opener nonetheless. By the way, when I'm on the phone, I speak really, 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 really fast. Like radio personality fast. No. Twister fast. No. Bone Thugs and Harmony fast. But anyways, enough talking. Check it out.
At the end of the day, he's human, and he makes mistakes, and he's just like everybody else now. Right now, it's a mistake that he's making. Clearly, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And the reason why he's saying no, because he doesn't want to deal with people living in the church, peeing and dirtying stuff. He don't want to deal with that. That's exactly what it is. But you're rich enough to have the church clean anyway. Like, what is it? And then how the hell you preach from a Bible, and God in the Bible tells you to open up your door to strangers and to help people and help the poor. And this is how the hell you a church leader, not just a pastor, but you're a leader. You're a leader to people who don't even go to church, who listen to your sermons for inspiration, and you closing your door on people who need you. Or is it only beneficiary to when people are listening to you and getting paid? That's the only time you care. But you don't care when it comes to aiding and helping people physically. Mentally, you don't mind giving a good word because you're going to get paid off of that. But when it comes to helping people, where are you? All those church offerings every single Sunday, you got that like 10,000, 50,000 members, and all this. If 50,000, you got 50,000 members.
Yeah, he has 16,000.
16,000 members, and each of them give you $1 every Sunday, which I know they're giving more than $1. You have $16,000 every.
Oh yeah, actually, I heard that he charges $15 to get in. I don't know how true that is, but I've seen a lot of comments saying that he charges 16 apiece, 15 apiece for each person to get in the church. They gotta pay a tithe and offering, I guess, beforehand before they walk in. I don't know how true that is, but I've seen a lot of comments on my YouTube saying, yeah, he charges $15, so he makes $250,000 a week. Supposedly, according to these comments.
I gotta look these up.
So I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, he charges, and you gotta pay $15 to get in. So he makes almost $250,000 a week, and he makes $55 million a year off of book sales and everything combined.
Charging people to get in church. If he doing that, then he a fraud on top of frauding. Because if he's really charging $15 to get in to something that should be free, then not only is he a fraud, basically this is just he's selling inspiration. That's all he's doing. He's just like Bob Proctor, selling information, making money.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, Bob Proctor is just like him. He's just a guy. You go on YouTube, he have a bunch of inspirational videos about how you could do everything. You listen to one of his videos, and he'll make you really feel like you could fly, like you could.
He's white or black?
He's white. Other than black people themselves. But yeah, he's just like Bob Proctor. Like, I remember listening to Bob Proctor videos, I'm like, oh, so good. And then towards the end, like, some of his videos you have to buy, like, he'll talk about how you have to buy some of his other lectures and all this other stuff. I'm like, wait, so you selling inspiration. That's exactly what Joel Osteen is doing. He's selling inspiration. And that's why he's so good at talking and making you feel so good about yourself, because that's his job. He's selling inspiration to you.
Oh, yeah, and I got a lot. Yeah, I agree. And people tell me that too. Like, it's a business. So I got a lot of flack for saying, well, if you think about it, every church is a business because they all want money, your tithes and offerings in order to keep on, going on. People like, what you mean, So what you think about that?
That is true.
That's true. That's what I said. I'm like, yo, that's a fact. Like, they want tithes and offerings.
That's why I don't run in the church giving my paycheck. I don't think so. I think the most the church might get out of me is $1, no lie. That's $1. And I'm just, and in that $1 that I'm giving you, I'm contributing to the lights. Other than that, because I'm only there for an hour and a half, so the hour and a half is $1 light.
Yo, sis, my subscribers will really appreciate everything you're saying. Like, I need to record you.
I'm being serious.
And I could block your voice a little bit if you want, but I need them to hear what you're saying so they can know that, like, I don't mind opposing opinions,
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because everything you're saying is what they're saying. I'm like, yo, he's a fraud. He's the white devil.
I mean, yeah, it sounds good. He does, like, you listen to one of his inspiration, and you just really could feel like you could, like, really do something. Like, I mean, it's good, but in a sense, like, if you're gonna charge people to inspire them, then do something with your money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you try to give people $15 to get in your church. Yeah, you try to do for this, that, and the third. But when a crisis like this happens, do something with that money that you're charging people to get in. Do something with that money. How you gonna charge me and then take my money, and then when it comes to helping the community, you're not doing anything? Then you're a fraud. I would, if I would have known that he's like collecting $15 just,
allegedly, according to some commenters.
Allegedly, if he was like collecting $15 per number or whatever, I wouldn't mind if he was like, okay, well, with this money, I'm doing this, in the community, and I'm helping, every Sunday there's a food pantry, or we do this, or we helping. We got a program, single mother, or doing this. But you're taking $15 for each person to attend your church, and you got 16,000 members, and then a crisis like this in Texas, and you can't help people. You fraud. You're fraud.
Damn.
I'm fraud.
Your phone breaking up.
Yes, inspiration might help you, but you're fraud.
Yo, wait, your phone is breaking up a little bit. And I want people to hear you clearly.
I'm not gonna lie, I do listen to him, on SoundCloud for free and YouTube for free, but but I would never support him after knowing that he does this.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. See, I told people that he's my pastor, but I didn't explain at first that not physically, because I got a lot of flack for saying he's my pastor. I said virtually, like online. Like, I watch his videos every now and again, sometimes when he's live. And I also said, yeah, he helps get me out of a rut sometimes. When I'm down, I watch his videos. And I'm like, you know what? Let me be positive. Let me not complain too much. Stuff like that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, you know how they say what you don't know won't hurt you? So, like, if I didn't know all of this and I was just listening to him, it would be all, good and everything. But knowing that he turned, and I could say that he turned his back on people who actually needed him, people in the community of the church that he's supposed to be serving, I would feel uncomfortable, like, now listening to him. Like, just knowing. It's like, imagine if you, like, every Sunday or Saturday, faithfully, you went to church, and you had a favorite pastor that just gave you inspiration, and then one day, he pleaded guilty of raping somebody. You would not feel comfortable listening to any old past sermons knowing who he really is. It's not.
Oh, yeah, if he raped somebody, yeah, but.
Yeah, it's not good to compare Joel Osteen to a rapist, but the fact that you turned your back on people, they probably could have died. You probably could have saved some people. To me, that's like, I'm not saying you're a killer, but you turned your back and did not open your church. That's a giant stadium to families. And there's people that's dying, there's people that's suffering, there's people that's going to die because they're not saved. They're not, there's no rescue team that's going to get them, You know, there's no place for them to go. Shelters are full. It's like technically you're kind of killing people knowingly when you could have saved them. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's the reason why, but it's like if you're dying and you're like, you know, can I just have a piece of your sandwich? And you had more than enough sandwich to give me, and you just chose not to give me just off of some greedy stuff, and I died. Then technically it's like the blood is on your hands, kind of, sort of. And I'm not saying, you know, the catastrophe happened. It just happened as an act of nature. But him, as a person of God, he's supposed to step in and help people.
Yeah, and I totally agree.
You're basically going against what you're preaching. All of these feel-good sermons and doing good for people and all of these stuff that he be saying, it just goes out the window now. Because now you're a fraud. And I've seen, and it's funny because the other day I had seen a video. I didn't really fully watch it, but it's something about basically calling Joel Osteen a fraud, but I didn't look at it.
I saw it, but I didn't click on it either.
I didn't click on it. I was just like, yeah.
Me too.
But, like, now, but now knowing this, it's just like, okay, the fraud. Anyway, I kind of have my speculations because when he be talking, like all of his sermons, not all of them, but just about like 60% of them, is about how he didn't want to go into the business of preaching. It was his father's thingy, and his father wanted to pass the torch.
That's true.
He didn't want to. I mean, you become oblivious when you look at the message because you're looking at the message, but you're not looking at what exactly he's saying. You listen closely. He said this is what his father was doing. He did not want to do it. He hated it. He used to, you know, be nervous to you know, have sermons and this, that, and the third, but when he looked at the check and the money that his father was probably making, and after his father passed away, he probably looked at it like, you know what? I ain't doing nothing. You know, all I got to do is just work 1 hour or 2 hours a day and preach and make millions and billions of dollars. So, I mean, you're not doing it. I'm just saying, you're not really doing it from the heart. You're doing it for a check.
For a business, yeah.
And if you want to be a fraud, be like a politician. Cover it up. You know, make it seem like you really doing it for the people. No. Like, don't be a fraud and expose yourself at the same time. You know, now.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You charge people to get in the church. On top of that, you're not opening your doors to people who really need it. You're supposed to be a fraud.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, to play devil's advocate, pictures did circulate from his church members of the church being soaked wet inside. You know, they were affected, supposedly, the way the pictures look.
He's rich enough to have somebody Photoshop them.
That's true. And
just to make it look good on the inside. How about, don't show me pictures. How about you record? How about you have one of the members go on to church and record it?
Yeah, but I mean, fans or people, separate occasions.
How did they get in the church?
No, they snuck in through the gates. They didn't get inside the church, but they were on the outside. And they're like, look, it's dry out here. It's video footage. They're like, it's dry out here, look. And they're like being sarcastic, like, see, we're drowning, yes. Joel Osteen, look at these 20.
How can it be dry on the outside and flooded on the inside? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know, but like I'm not trying to like be on his side, but I'm thinking like, okay, the pictures, they might be fake, no doubt. But if it is real, maybe like when the hurricane first started, maybe it was a little bit damaged, and by now it's been worked on.
Okay, so good point. Okay, whether it was flooded or not, he should have said, okay, the church is flooded. We would take people, but the church is flooded. His answer is, no, we're not taking people unless the shelters are full.
Yeah, that's his new answer. His first answer was the church is closed because we're damaged as well. And people went and said, no, you're not. Like, people went and called him out a couple of days after, like, bitch, where type stuff. Excuse my French people. But yeah, like, where? So that's when he was like, yeah, so after the shelters are full, then we'll be, like, you know, a second stop or whatever the case is.
Well, if that's the case, then I want somebody to take a video camera and record of the inside. If anybody can Photoshop a picture. I just don't believe that the church was flooded. I don't believe anything he says at this point.
Yeah.
He's a fraud.
The church is on top of like a major highway. Like it's not ground level at all. The whole church is like on top. So like it was structured perfectly because it was a stadium.
And even if the church, let's say if it was quote unquote allegedly flooded, why didn't you offer your service and your money to the community and rescuing people? if you can't help in one way, why can't you help in another way?
Oh,
You
yeah,
got
that's
the
true.
money. You charge people $15 every Sunday to get into your church, and you got 16,000 members. So you have the money. You got the money. Why are you not helping people? Why are the people still, not being rescued? People are dying. I seen an animal shelter that was flooded, and the animals are still out there in the rain, not in the rain, in the water, and nothing is going on. Nothing is happening. You have all this money. Put this money to use. If you're gonna take $15 from me to enter to your church, cool. But you gotta do something with that money.
Yeah.
Do something. You're not doing anything with that money, you're a fraud.
I mean, now.
I'm not supporting, but you're a fraud.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I see like the bigger picture, and I'm thinking more into it, like, well, people do have. I mean, it makes sense because he's a millionaire. He makes $55 million to $70 million a year.
He's a billionaire. He's not no billionaire. He's a billionaire.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
He's smart enough to buy that church and then to buy that dome or whatever it was before and have 16,000 members and charge them every week. And on top of charging them, they have their own. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are probably paying like 10% of their checks for tithing. He's making more. You have the money. You sitting in your mansion and chilling probably in your Gucci drawers or whatever. I don't know what you're doing, but you're not helping nobody. You're supposed to serve your community, and your community needs you. But as a pastor and as a leader, you're not doing anything. You're just making excuses. And so what if people coming to your church to dirty it, or they damage it, or whatever? You have enough money to reconstruct and fix that.
That's true. I mean, yeah, you make 100% sense.
Go to the shelters. I want to see you. Go to the shelters. Provide food, clothing, medicine. Go do some work. Go do something. Besides sitting behind the computer and just giving a sorry-ass excuse and telling the world why you can't help.
That's true. That's true.
It's just sad that he exposed himself like that. Now I'm going to really go back and look at all the videos about him being a fraud now, because now I'm going to believe it.
Yeah, oh my God. That's crazy. False prophets.
And it's so embarrassing, as a Christian, and you're looking at that and you're like, dang. You're supposed to be leaders. And this is somebody, I'm not going to even lie, this is somebody that even helps me in my way when I'm driving to work. I just be feeling so good about myself. Like, yes, Joel. Like, speak that word, talk that talk.
Me too.
Now I don't know what I'm going to have to do because I'm going to feel bad, uncomfortable listening to him knowing that he's a fraud.
Yeah, that's
what... He does a good job, as far as, like, giving lectures and
motivating
people, inspirational words and whatever, but, no. He's a fraud. Now I'm going to have to do something else. Now I don't know what I'm going to have to do in the morning because I don't want to hear him now. I'm gonna feel very awkward, and I'm gonna feel very skeptical.
Yeah, and it's embarrassing for me because I kind of defended him. I mean, as far as like, well, maybe because it's a stadium, he has stadium rules put in place. But when I get your perspective, and I realize, well, he is a billionaire, he can always.
Even if it was sorry to cut you off, but even if it was like a stadium issue. You got the money, go out in the community, pay rescue teams.
Exactly, yeah, you're right.
Every single person, if your stadium was flooded or your church was flooded, go out and help with your money elsewhere. Go get some food, deliver food to these shelters that's probably overwhelmed with a lot of people. Do something. Go to the nursing homes, go to, the hospitals, do something. You're not doing anything. You're just giving excuses. And it's funny how you're giving excuses as a pastor, and you're always preaching against excuses. You're always preaching about how it ain't good to give excuses, and people that give excuses, this, that, and the third.
You know his accent, too.
For real. It's crazy.
Damn.
Now I have to go, and I don't know what my inspiration is going to come from in the morning, but I'm going to feel so funny. It's bad enough I feel funny listening to these other pastors that be preaching and stuff like that, because a lot of them got their own stuff going on. I know nobody's perfect, but people, nobody's perfect. But as a pastor, you're supposed to make wise decisions.
And lead by example.
And lead by example.
Yeah, because at first all he offered was prayer. Like at first it was like just I would want to pray, and I think he even said, "Well, donate." I guess something like that. And people were like, "Donate? You're not even doing nothing."
Donate for what?
Let me look it up real quick.
He's just exposing himself every second. Donate for what? What exactly? Your church is closed, allegedly, quote unquote, and you want me to donate my money to you so you can just make more money?
Yeah, it makes sense. And I'm very embarrassed because, like I said, he did his words, not him. Because sometimes people need motivation to just get up, get out, and do something. So yes.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
I know, like I said, in the mornings I get, I listen to Joel to the point where I've been memorizing some of his sermons, and I know how he talks, I know how he operates. I don't live nowhere in Texas, but when I don't even go to church, I'll listen to his sermon and I'll just feel accomplished. But it's just sad. But at the end of the day, you can't even be mad at him because, he's selling inspiration. So somebody that's selling inspiration, what do you expect him? You can't expect him to be a leader.
That's true, and that's very true. Oh my God. It's like, because personally, a couple of months ago, I was in a bad rut, and I'm like, damn, everything was going not wrong, but sometimes you just don't feel like, or me, I'm just like, I don't feel like doing nothing. But then I ran across, it's because of you actually, because, you was like, well, sis, you can always, listen to the law of attraction, find ways to be motivated and inspired. And then in doing that, finding ways to be happy, I just typed in something about being happy, and he came up. And I'm like, oh, who is this?
But, there's a...
Hello? I think your phone breaking up. Hello? Hello?
Affirmations, I listen to affirmations, successful affirmations and self-help affirmations. I'll probably just be doing that.
Oh, yeah.
That just goes to show that you just really can't put people on the pedestal. No
At
matter
all.
how they make you feel. This guy, he wasn't God to me, but I could say that, he was an inspiration in my life, but now he's just like a fraud.
That's true. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm just stuck.
Somebody should go next Sunday, during church service and play Nicki Minaj No Frauds in a congregation.
Yeah, what's crazy? I forgot to mention. He actually got Donkey of the Day this morning by Charlemagne. So that, it's real.
Oh yeah, he a real donkey.
Yeah, it's real. He was just basically what you're saying, you have enough money to help. You can't make it as a last resort. Just open your doors right now. Why is it a last resort? And he was he only is doing this because he had so much pressure put on him, by everybody. Yo, you got this big place where you can shelter people. Help them out. So he gave him a big ass Donkey of the Day.
And watch when he goes back to church Sundays to preach his congregation, and he's gonna talk about it and try to make himself, look good, and watch his congregation zombie and idiots clap for him and be on his side. They all gonna be on his side no matter what he says.
Oh yeah, so Charlemagne did say, he said that I hope that your church is empty. I hope that people don't go to your church unless it's the last resort. Unless every other church is closed, then that's when.
Good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go to his church even if he paid me $15 and he gave me my membership back.
Yeah, I'm so embarrassed. My subscribers gonna be look at you. I mean, like I said, I was at a bad time. I needed some inspiration. Yes, I'm finding my spirituality recently, as of a couple of months, because back in the day I had some bad experiences in church. Not gonna talk about that right now, but yeah. So everybody, yeah. So
every church got something crazy, and even if you don't think something crazy is going on, there's always some type of scandal going on.
Behind the scenes, yes.
That goes to show you that you can't sit there and put people on a pedestal and look at these pastors and people like they real prophets, because they really not.
Yeah, that's why for a long time.
I'm not saying that to everybody, but some, you might have a pastor that actually engages in the community and does stuff, but a lot of them is just all for the checks. It's sad. It's all for the checks. It's all about them. It's all about what you as a people could do for them. And
That's true.
all they do, they sell you, you know, basically you paying to hear a sermon. You paying for inspiration.
That's true.
You know?
And you know,
That's all it is.
For a long time, I didn't, you know that I didn't go to church for a long time because of the bad experiences from the past. So what I did is I stayed home and I prayed in my heart. I had to find God on my own. But like finding him was an added addition, but it wasn't like, oh, he was my God. Never that. It was just like, sometimes I need a good, because there's so much pettiness going on. Being a petty blog myself, you just need some good stuff.
And you know, on Facebook, they have those memes that goes, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
Believe his ass right now.
Yeah, I have to believe it, yeah.
He's showing y'all who he is, believe it. I know we gonna forget about it in a couple months, and we gonna be back to listening to Joel Osteen. And BET better stop paying his rerun after this too.
Oh, he's on BET?
I don't know. Last time
Oh yeah, he is on TV every Sunday. Yeah, he is. I don't know what channel.
He's on some station, and I think BT do be playing him at night, like around like maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah,
like
I think that's
something like that.
Oh wow.
Even though nobody's watching you at 3 o'clock in the morning, you still don't deserve no airplay.
Yo, you like a Charlemagne. Like my sister, y'all, she is petty, but in a good way. She's very spiritual. She's a good person. She has a good heart. She put me on to spirituality. So yeah.
You know, you just can't put people on a pedestal. No pastors. You go to church, just go to church because you know you just want to hear a good word. But other than that,
yeah, and it's like even when I was younger, like pastors, priests, especially in the Catholic Church, molesting little boys. I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna be a part of this. Going to church and everybody is there as people there.
You gotta find your spirituality within yourself. You gotta understand who you are. You gotta understand that you're a spiritual being. And you know what I hate? I hate
what you hate, girl.
When they be like, Pastor, pray for me, please, and put it.
Oh yeah, I don't need that. I need God directly.
The same power that person got to
you
pray
have.
God, the same power you have. At the end of the day, the pastor, they bleed just like you bleed. They hunger just like you hunger. If something happens to you, it could happen to them. I would never sit there, never again in my whole life would I ever sit there and be like, Pastor, please pray for me, and just sit there and put my hope in that pastor, thinking that pastor got a special connection to God that I don't got. No, that's not true. The same connection that he or she may have, I have too.
Facts, sis.
You know?
Preach.
Never in my life, I used to be that person that's like, Pastor, pray for me, and put my hope in the pastor, thinking that he just got some special connection, like they just got a cell phone and they could just call God and he would hear them and not hear me. No, some of these pastors, they just all types of frauds, and I would never sit there and put my faith in a fraud again.
For real.
Hope. Not faith, I would say hope. Never again.
Yeah, you're right, sis. Man, listen, this is like crazy, and I'm getting bashed every second right now for, like, but I live and I learn. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. I'm a work in progress. I'm learning just like you guys are learning. So I wasn't defending him. I was playing devil's advocate, pun intended this time.
That was common sense, though. I mean,
it's because
ain't no defending. I don't care if I used to work at a state of and I knew the rules and regulations. Common sense, when there's like a state of emergency, ain't no time to be like, oh, I gotta sit with the boards and see if this is okay. It's let them in. And even if, let's just say, even if there was like state regulations and rules to whatever the stadium has to do, even if they fines you like $50,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 for going against them, that's not a problem. You gonna make that money anyway. You make that money, you got the money. So what? How the heck are you a man of God? How are you a man of God? Preaching his word every Saturday, preaching from, not Saturday, every Sunday. And you sitting there not doing nothing. You a hypocrite. You talk about people that sit there and don't do anything, that make excuses, and you making excuses. You a big hypocrite. You going against exactly what you preach, and I listen to him faithfully every morning on my way to work. And this is
for real? Like, to this day?
I mean, well,
sometimes.
Not this morning. This morning I just listened to my affirmations, and I don't know, I didn't feel like listening to him this morning, but faithfully I do listen to him every morning, And he always has sermons about people that make excuses and people that don't do anything, that always makes excuses. And that's what he's doing. He's a hypocrite. But he's good at what he does because he's getting paid for it. So if you paid me millions and thousands and millions of dollars to preach to people, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to make you think I'm Jesus too.
Oh, no, so, I don't think he's Jesus now, but I feel you.
I'm not. You know, I'm pretty sure his congregation thinks he's
Jesus.
Yeah,
they do. Majority of them.
Paying money to get in to the church. The only way you'll catch me paying for a membership for church, I heard about these things. I never knew that.
Oh, yeah, I actually heard about it. You're right.
No, I heard about things as far as like other pastors charging people. Like I've never experienced it myself, other than me having to pay my tithe and offering. I'm not saying that's charging, but that's kind of, you know, because they always say, oh, we got to keep the lights on. But I'm only there for an hour. So why am I giving you 10% of my paycheck if I'm only there for an hour anyway?
Exactly.
You know, like I said, they faithfully get $1 from me. And I'm just taking that 1% of the hour that I'm sitting there. You know, what I'm not eating y'all food, y'all not clothing me. I'm just sitting there, and it's like when you go to church. Well, I don't know about every other church, but my church is just a bunch of announcements, a bunch of extra stuff, and the preacher will probably preach for like 30 minutes or whatever. So technically, I'm only there for an hour and I'm listening to y'all preach for 30 minutes and I'm going to give you 10% of my paycheck for what?
Exactly.
And I'm just one of many. So I'm giving you 10% of my paycheck and it's like, let's say like 400 members and we are giving you 10% of my paycheck. That is more than enough money to pay the lights. Especially y'all not open Monday through Sunday or whatever. Y'all only open that one day. My church don't got no daycare. And even if they did have a daycare like these other churches, the daycare would pay for itself. So why are all these people paying 10% of their tithe? Yes, do you know what it is? They take a scripture from the Bible, they make it literal, and then they just control people.
That's true, man. This sucks because
the scripture they talk about, 10% of the tithes, and
oh yeah, that's true.
At the end of the day, that was written, back in
BC time.
Yes, BC time. And we in different times right now. Time is hard. And
very, oh my God. That 10% probably should go down to 0.10%. I'm
not saying we should contribute to the church. Because, yeah, the lights got to be on. And other than the lights and paying the musicians and the pastors cut, well, I guess you pay for the pastors'
lifestyle. Yeah, they lifestyle because there's pastors, they living big.
No, but I remember my pastor one time, she was like, she was complaining one Saturday. It was mad embarrassing. She was complaining about how, like, the offering balance for, like, the past 3 months hasn't been at its highest, something like that. And I was just sitting there. She was like, yeah, I think the money's going to me. It's not going to me. I get a salary from the congregation of the religion or whatever, something like that. So I'm like, wait, so you get a salary and we getting 10% off of all these members, then why are you up there complaining about?
This was your church that you go to now?
This is the church that I went to before.
Oh, wow.
And I was just sitting there. It was embarrassing because it was like they had visitors. I'm like, how we got visitors? And it's like visitors day and you up here complaining about, tithing that it's been low. So the economy is crazy. It's been low. You lucky you getting a penny from me. If I give you my little $1 that I contribute for the hour that I'm there, you're lucky that you're getting that from me. You got people that's contributing $300, $500, $1,000. Or whatever they want to be. Sometimes people just contribute more than they're supposed to contribute, and that's good on them. But all of this money, so what if the tithes are not as high as it was 3 months ago?
Oh, what? You know what's crazy? Not to cut you off.
People's on unemployment and all this other stuff, and y'all y'all make people become atheists so quick because y'all just not preaching like y'all supposed to be preaching. Y'all supposed to be, giving people life and helping people. And instead of y'all just want to worry about money and not help the community like y'all supposed to. It's just sad. What you gonna say though?
Oh, you know what's crazy, yo? Tell me why. This is something I remember too, and I just Googled it. A woman, a single mother in Florida, she got sent a collections letter from the church. The church sent it to her because they said that she owed them $1,000 because she hasn't been paying her tithe in like months.
I wish a church would. I wish a church would do that mess with me. I wish they would.
That's crazy, yo.
I wish they would.
So
First of all,
she called the news on them.
I want to see what agreement I signed when I came to your church that said that I am to owe you
$50 a month. They said $50 a month.
I want to see what agreement I signed. If I went to your church willingly and I didn't sign no agreement and I'm just paying tithe as I go and I decide not to go or time is rough and you send me that bill or send me to collections for that, I'm sorry. I'm whooping the pastor's ass, the deacon's ass, the choir members are getting ass whoopings. Everybody's getting ass whoopings. I wish y'all would. How dare you tell me that I gotta pay you?
That's crazy, yo. This is why, and you know, this is why I do not go to church.
No agreement that's
physically.
Agreement that said I was gonna do this, and y'all gonna sit there and hold me to something. She probably didn't even have it.
Facts. She did not. She's a single mother.
What kind of church? What kind of church? What kind of church? What is wrong? First of all, people. If you're going to the church and they charging you to go to church, just know that they frauds. I don't care how good the sermon is. I don't care how good the sermon. You're better off sitting in your house in a room praying and singing and going on YouTube and listening to sermons and calling it a day.
That's crazy.
Because church people will have you feeling guilty because you don't go to church and make it seem like something is wrong with you, like you a heathen. Like, church is nothing. It's nothing. Because you know why? I can have church in my car. And I can have church in my room. I can have church in the bathroom and still feel God's presence.
Facts.
And then these church members, they like cult. They're like a real cult. Not all of them, but a lot of them are like cults. Like, you
super facts.
Like, you know, I got family members, and I don't care if they this or whatever, that there's some real cult-like people.
Oh my God, facts,
you know,
guys.
You see them on Facebook or Instagram. My church family, I love my church family.
All
my
day.
Church family, church family, I love church family.
All day, yo.
Like, first of all, y'all already in the church, y'all already know about God. How come y'all not out in the community and creating a church family with people who don't know God?
Facts.
Yeah, that's a cult. That's a cult. And it's all y'all. And then y'all wonder why people don't come to church.
Because they fake. It's a fraud.
I love my church family. Saturday event, me and my church family. But y'all, I never see y'all out doing nothing in the community. I never see y'all helping people.
Nada.
I never see y'all preaching the word to God. Not one day, these church family, I never, ever heard them other God in front of me or around me.
All they do is they go to church with each other and they take pictures.
Biggest criticizers.
And they go there as a fashion show, take pictures, post on Facebook. Y'all not a real church. Y'all a cult. Y'all weirdos. That's why I left y'all church 15 years ago. Okay? And if you hear this, it is what it is, hunty. Because y'all fake. Y'all frauds.
No,
y'all phonies.
They not all of them. Like, maybe a good 90% of them, but not all of them.
Maybe 95.
They cult-like. They are very cult-like. Very cult-like. They're judgmental.
Very. Oh, my God.
Very judgmental and would think that they better. But then, let's not forget, they got skeletons behind their closets.
Right now.
Right now, old skeletons, youth skeletons, they're creating skeletons right now as we speak.
Infidelities.
They think because they go to church that they're better
than the rest of the population. Yep.
Never mind their spirit, how very evil that their spirit can be. They think that they're better than you somehow.
It's crazy.
Oh, you don't go to church?
And
you
then
ain't a good person. Oh, you don't got a home church? There's nothing wrong.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with having a church family and going to church and just experience that with God. But you can't walk around with your nose in the air thinking you better than the next person, especially when you're not even doing anything to help the next person better themselves.
At all. That's
that's the
crazy.
sad part. And that's the sad part. Y'all make church look like a cult.
Like some clown stuff. Like the things that used to go on at the church we went to back in the day. Come on, like that's
People sleeping with so-and-so, you know, a lot of just disgusting things going on inside of the church. People having
sex in church, baby. Facts. Witness with my own eyes.
Money.
Yes, facts. Being a business instead of a church. And it's crazy because that church made me not even want to go to any other church.
That is just one.
And that's messed up.
That's just one church, one of millions. I heard stories. I got friends and people that grew up in church and just don't go to church anymore because of the scandals and the stuff that be going on. And, you know, and then you got, I remember this one church I went to every Saturday. They had parking lot attendants that was outside acting like they was in the military. You can't park here. You can't park here. No. I'm like,
for what?
I'm going to church. No, they were parking lot attendants. You know how churches be having parking lot attendants?
Yeah, but like they have special people to park there. Like you're not special enough.
No, you can't go there. This is special parking for Deacon
so-and-so.
This special parking for like what? Deacon so-and-so should have got here early on time. Deacon so-and-so gonna have to walk his old or her old ass to the church from a mile away.
Yo.
If Deacon so-and-so wanted this parking spot, they should have came here on time. You can't park here. Be all into it. Or you got the ushers inside of the church that's acting like they policemen. You can't go inside right now. They praying. They talking. They doing announcements. You can't go inside. Blocking. Like, what is going on? What kind of organized cult crazy crap is this?
That is crazy, yo.
There's some crazy stuff that be going on, and you just be having to like just sit back and just have to like, you know what? Yeah, I gotta find my spirituality, because if I keep going to church every weekend and just sitting down like an idiot and not understanding what's going on, I'm not gonna find no spirituality, and it's sad. Like it's sad. You know what's really sad?
What's that,
I didn't know who God was until I found my own spirituality outside of the church. And that's so sad.
Yeah, and I'm finding him recently because of what I went through.
It's so sad. Church is supposed to bring you towards to God, but it's like it's pushing you away sometimes with some of these antics that these people be doing.
Yeah, it's crazy, yo. That's why people become atheists so quick, because they're like, well, I used to go to church at one point, and the people in church, like,
I'm not gonna become an atheist off of what people do.
I won't either, but I'm saying a lot of people
what you did is not. That's just like getting cheated on. I'm not gonna. You get cheated on and be like, oh, the next person gonna do the same thing to me. No, I'm gonna still have hope that there's somebody out there that's not gonna do the same thing to me. You know, but at the same time, with church, you know, I had bad experiences with different churches, but that's not gonna discourage me from believing who God is. It's probably gonna discourage me from going to church. You know, but I'm going to still have my spirituality. I'm still going to believe in God even more, because by them acting the way they're acting is just showing me, you know, what God preaches about. You know, what God talks about in the Bible about false prophets.
Yes.
I see false prophets in the church all the time.
That's true. And you see, the thing is this. When I was younger, I remember when I was probably like, I don't know, 10, 11. And one thing that stuck with me is one of the Bible verses that said something about how the person who prays in front of the church could be the fakest one, but the one who prays in the closet is the one with the purest heart. And that stuck with me for life. That's the reason why I say, you know what? I think I was probably 16 when I left that church. I'm like, people in here, they're like very toxic. Like the things they're doing that I'm witnessing, I do not want to be around. So at 16, I turned my back.
But you want to know what it is?
What is it?
People that go to church that pray and they be doing they like holy dances and doing all this stuff like that. They think that God is stupid. They really think that God is dumb. They do what they do throughout the week. They sin. They just have these little evil hearts and negative spirits. And they go to church. They shout. They holler. They sing. They dance. They putting up a show for God, thinking that God would be like, oh, okay, you in church, you jumping, you hollering, doing praise dances and whatever you call it. And okay, you're my child. But they think that behind closed doors, when they're at home, beating on their wives, cheating on their wives and cheating on their husbands, stealing, doing X, Y, and Z, they think that God don't see that.
That's crazy.
And then I be watching these Facebook videos with these people in church doing leg dances, looking like they confess and looking crazy. And
The Baptist people.
You look stupid, and half the time, like 99% of the time, you could tell these are people that used to go clubbing a lot, and they stopped going clubbing, so they just come to church, and then that's where they get their dance on.
I'm done. I'm so done.
You can tell us what it is. That's serious.
I'm done, yo.
They start going to church. They start living a spiritual life, quote unquote, allegedly. But then, you know, they gotta find they turn up somehow. That's they turn up. I remember, no lie, was it last year? I had went to somebody invited me to somebody's church for New Year's or whatever, because I like going to church New Year's. I don't care what church it is. I just like just going or whatever. So there's one particular church. This girl, before they even started playing the music, she started dancing and doing her feet. I'm like, lady, you're lying. You lying. Ain't no music playing. How?
I'm done. I'm too through.
Fake fainting, like what? And then, you know,
the Holy Ghost.
And I'm looking at her, and my daughter's looking at her, and then you can see her peeking, kind of, to see if people looking at her. Lady, you faking, lady. You want attention.
I cannot.
That go to work and don't get attention. You know, they don't got no lives. They don't party anymore. You know, they go to church, and this is where they get their attention from. This is where they get their partying, and you know, this is where they get to do the fashion show. You know, Monday through Friday, they you know, they go to work being nerds, and then Sunday, you know, they just go out and show out. You know, that's what they do. They're crazy.
That's crazy, yo.
I just remember seeing that, and I'm like, what the hell what's going on? Lady, you faint and you dance, and there's no music playing. They didn't start playing the music yet, lady.
That's crazy. Okay, it's an update. He just opened his church as of 5:15 p.m. Eastern, so 30 minutes ago. They saying that...
I thought he said it was flooded.
Yeah. He said he was going to open it only when the shelters are full, but this says that being that he had so much pressure put on him from everybody, it's open now.
But this is fake. So you just doing this. You're doing this for face. You're doing this for shame, and you're doing this for face. You feel shame, and you're just doing this for face, just to show people, yeah, I'm doing something, you know? But obviously you don't really mean it.
That's crazy. This is all too crazy, girl. Like I said, guys.
Obviously you don't mean it. You do not mean it. You're just doing this for the public. A damn shame.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. And I'm very embarrassed because I guess you could say I defended him. But guys, I said I'm only human. I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. I live.
It's all good, because I'm going to just listen to my little affirmations. You know, my affirmations are better anyway, because this morning as I was saying them, you know, with the speaker, I felt it. You know, it's good to listen. Sometimes you don't feel like talking, you just feeling low and, you know, whatever. But, you know, my affirmations, I actually felt more powerful, and just saying, yes, I will be successful, and, you know, I am powerful. I felt good, you know.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same listening to Joel Osteen and his little corny jokes that he be doing at the beginning. You know, I'm going to miss that.
It's all right, girl. We can always go to a comedy club. Always.
Just corny little jokes. You know, and that little thing that he had to be repeating. This is my Bible. I am what it says I am. I can do what I said I can do. Today I will be taught the word of God. I will be complete. My heart is alert, my mind is receptive, and I will never be the same. Never, never, never. Never, never, never. The first time I heard him say never, 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 I swear I thought he was saying nigger, nigger, nigger. Wait. Did he just nigger, nigger, nigger?
Yo!
Like,
I cannot.
Did just say nigger, nigger, nigger? No, he said never, never, never.
Yo, I cannot breathe. I can't take it no more, girl.
I'm gonna miss that, but it's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna find there's other ways to find inspiration. Like I said, he ain't God. It was good listening to him, but you know,
That's crazy.
You know, until he got to prove himself.
So crazy, yo.
He got to prove himself. Send all of those $15 back to everybody you've been charging. You know, do some type of act of remorse or something. He's not gonna do that.
That's crazy.
His brother.
People are giving him. Let me see. I'm trying to see what they're saying to him on social media. They're coming.
It really don't matter. Because guess what? These same people that's talking ish, they gonna stop talking ish in about a week and forget about it. And he gonna go right back to being a man in his church, and everybody gonna forget about this.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but they say that he's blocking. He just blocked people on on Twitter. Whoever's coming for him, he's blocking you.
You gonna block me, but are you gonna give me my $15 back, my membership back? Are you gonna do that?
This is crazy, yo. But girl,
that's too much.
For real.
That's what happens when y'all be following these people.
Girl, bye. Like I said, like I didn't go to church in years and ages. However, when I was in a small rut, I needed some inspiration. It just so happens that his material came up first, and I clicked on it, and I was like, well, damn. He's saying some hot shit, but now I'm woke. I'm woke, guys. I am awake. But guys, that was my sister. I'm not going to say her name because I don't think she wants y'all to know as of yet. However, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless because as y'all say, that's so dolly, y'all. So dolly.
For ya, the number 4YA.
Yeah, so dolly for ya. I will link her if you guys want to, you know.
I don't really say much on social media, so.
Yes.
All I do is post it. Y'all want to hear more from me? Just say the word.
Yes, I'm going to link her, guys. But, I mean, thank you so much because, like I said, I snuck and recorded you a little bit before I asked you for permission. But but you gave me that permission, so I'm going to, I have to go transfer these files and upload this to YouTube. It should be up there by tonight. Thank you so much for your words because I woke up. I'm woke. All right, guys. Bye. Thanks, sis. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All in all, what is the most important thing is that his doors are officially open and the people are being catered to the way they should have been from the jump. But I am so tired of speaking about this man and just ready to get back to the pettiness. Okay? But what y'all think? Leave your thoughts below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this page for more. Be sure to like us at facebook.com/PetTeaBlog and don't forget to hit that bell to join the notification gang. PetTeaBlog.com signing off.